Hey there, fellow YouTubers. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be back here making another video for you. And I think this one's going to be really special because today we're talking about green screens. Now, look, I know what you're thinking. Chris, this is a music channel. And you're right, it is. But let's be honest. At the time of filming in October 2020, we're in the midst of a global pandemic which has forced literally the whole creative industry to react, and in some cases, retrain. Now before we go any further, I'm going to have timestamps in the description below, so if you want to jump to a particular section, then feel free, because it's probably going to be a big video. But please, while you're down there, give that like button a bit of love, and also, why not subscribe and ring the bell to get all of my videos as soon as they drop. So why green screens? Well, most of us are now having to teach, perform, or create online from home. So that creates its own set of problems. Let's take musicians' perspective for a little second. We're used to going to a music venue that's already styled in a particular way to help the punters relax or have a good time or just experience something wonderful. And that's also where we come in. As performers, it's our job to help create that atmosphere by giving entertainment in the form of music. We inspire people, we help them to forget the crap day they might have had and even react in just ways they just hadn't considered before. And now we have to do that from home. It's a bit more difficult, isn't it? Because these are our safe spaces. These are the places where we create the things that inspire people, make them think and just feel. You might not even want people to see the inside of your house. It might not be decorated in a way that suits your music style. Enter the green screen. Using a green screen allows you to create that atmosphere. It gives the watcher a fuller experience and helps them to enjoy their performance better. But is it as simple as just buying a bit of green cloth from Amazon and pinning it up in your bedroom and turning on the camera? No. So we're going to talk today about how to do green screen well as a musician, a teacher, performer, creator, or anything else for that matter. Okay, so the first thing is to get a decent green screen. Now look, I know it's easy to go on Amazon and see links to setups that only cost around 20 quid or even less depending on what you look at. But I promise you the quality will not be there. You'll need to spend loads of time ironing out every crease in the blanket and it'll take ages to set up the stands and everything. And if space is a premium in your house, then really you need to be able to set it up and pack it away simply. So I've got two green screens to show you today that literally take seconds to set up and pack down, and both of which don't impact the rest of your house, and they're quite cost effective really. Now these were sent to me by a company called Celexon, which low-key kind of sounds like one of the Decepticons. But I just want to clarify that although they sent them to me, they haven't told me what to say and they haven't even seen this video before it's published online. Now the first is the mobile chroma key green screen. What a mouthful. Let's just call it the mobile from now on. Now this one is completely self-contained and weighs in at 12 kilograms, so it's a bit heavy. It pulls up and literally is immediately ready for use. It's got a double scissor joint system with feet integrated in the housing and wheels on both ends, so you can literally just drag it along. It all basically means that it's quick, strong and simple to use. It's 150 centimeters wide and 180 centimeters tall, so perfect for performers who might be sitting playing an instrument because you can keep more in the shot. Now disclaimer, if you're a tall person then the next one might be more to your liking. That brings me on to the manual chroma key green screen, otherwise known as the manual. This is designed to be installed more permanently on a wall. This makes it great for multi-purpose rooms. It's a pull-down job this time. So think of like a projector screen in a science room. It's just as quick to configure and set up and pack away. The great thing about this one is that it's 200 centimeters wide and 190 centimeters tall. So great for taller people and also if you're hosting an online event with someone else. My wife and I use this one frequently to run our online choir sessions together. What's awesome about both of these green screens is they don't take up a lot of space. They pack away easily and they give you a consistent look. They don't need to be ironed. Now that you've got your green screen, we need to talk about actually using it. Now, there are two main environments for using green screen. Number one, live streaming. This is where you'd use a program like OBS to create your online performance environment with effects, lyrics, so people can sing along if they want to, or pretty much anything your mind can think of. That'll be ready to stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Zoom, or any of the other places. The second situation is pre-recorded video content. This is where you record your content, be it tutorials or performances, then drag it into video editing software like DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, Final Cut, or even iMovie works just fine. For both of these situations, the biggest thing you need to consider is lighting. Now, I'm not talking about moody Godfather style lighting, but essentially you need to create as much light as possible. And in my experience, a whiter, cleaner light is best. You ideally need a 3-point lighting system. 2 lights on the sides to catch shadows and 1 light down the middle to light up your talent. The green screen is going to be most effective when there's even distribution of light across the scene. Otherwise, you're just going to see artifacts or noise build up in pockets across the screen. I use the Essential Video Blogger LED lighting kit from a company called Pro, but you can use whatever works for you. So now that you've got your lighting sorted, we need to talk settings. First off, in the camera. Now I'm using a Canon 8AD with a 10 to 22mm STM lens to record and live stream with. The camera is set to manual with ISO on auto, and it's recording at full HD with 60 frames per second. The reason for this is that I found the chroma key works better when there's more frames to key out. My project settings in Final Cut Pro are 1080p but 24 frames per second, and this is how I like to stream as well. Now look, I'm not an expert in camera settings, I just kind of know what works best in my setup from doing a lot of testing and messing around. Let's start off by pulling a recorded clip into Final Cut Pro. You can see that I've made sure to light myself evenly and that whatever movements I make are all within the confines of the green screen. This is a personal thing because I think it looks weird when you lose a limb because the chroma key cut your arm off. Now, I'm going to click on that clip and begin to crop out the parts of the scene that aren't actually green screen. Now that's done, I'm going to type in key over here in the effects browser and pull over this keyer effect. Then drop it on my clip. You'll see it instantly does the job, but that there is still going to be some tweaking to be done within the settings. This is where you're going to need to take your time and use your eyes to decide what looks best. Generally speaking though, I find that opening up spill suppression and pulling the white tab over to the left does a great job of evening things out. Now, after you've done this, you can grab whatever background image you want, be it static or moving, and just have fun creating your scene. Okay, let's talk about doing the same thing in a program like OBS so that you can live stream. Now, for those of you that don't know, OBS is short for Open Broadcaster Software. It's essentially a way for you to create your own TV program that other people can watch. You can create scenes, have images or videos on screen, transition between different camera angles, and almost anything is possible with this free piece of software. It just takes a little time to learn. Now today, I'm going to take you step by step through a simple one camera setup that allows you to use your green screen. The first time you open up OBS, you'll be met with a blank screen and some boxes along the bottom. Now, this is going to differ depending on your setup. Before you go any further though, make sure you know what camera you're using to live stream from. A lot of people like to use webcams, which can work fine. Today, I'm going to be using my Canon camera because I actually don't own a webcam. Now, create a new scene and name it main scene or whatever you want really, to be honest. Click the add button down here to add a source. And now you're probably going to want to select video capture device, but in my case I need to select Siphon client because of the nature of how Canon cameras work. Make sure if you do Siphon silent that you select allow transparency for the chroma key to actually work. Now you can right click on the name of that source and select filters. There's going to be a box that says effect filters, click the add button in the bottom and select chroma key. It should now have applied that key effect to your camera angle. Something to bear in mind for live streaming is that your computer is working hard to constantly get rid of the green screen in the background. So this can be very CPU intensive. I'd suggest a computer with at least 16 gig of RAM and 6 cores of processing power to make sure that you're all good. It's also worth pointing out that although I'm doing this on a Mac, it can be done on a PC. There are loads of settings you can play around with, the chroma key things to make it look better, depending on your lighting conditions and things. So at this point, it becomes up to you to do what you do best. Just be creative and see what you can come up with using your new green screen setup. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope this gave you some ideas of how to add some new creativity into your online performances, your teaching experiences, or content creation. As ever, if you like this video, you know what to do. Subscribe and ring the bell. Until the next one, keep playing, keep learning, and keep growing, guys. Have fun.